Namaste बहुत हफ्ते हो गए चैंटिंग करते हुए साथ में ना, तो देख रहा हूँ टाइम 8:45 हो गया, तो क्या करें? थोड़ा डिस्कशन करें। हाँ, डिस्कशन 8:45 next time we'll start with that. Oh my God, that's it. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, just to review something. That's nice. She said that श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं रघुनाथामृतं संकुलीनं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादासंललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि ते प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्री गुरु one verse from Bhagavad Gita. We will discuss the purport of Srila Prabhupada, and we will see how that links to our visit to New Vrindavan next week. Right? And in that note, we will discuss a little bit about Vrindavan Dham. So this is very, very important verse, one of the most important verses, the sum and substance of all the Vedantas. This Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the essence is this verse that we all know, 18.65. And we can very intently read the purport of Prabhupada and see what Prabhupada is indicating in this. We can all repeat. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Brahmana Bhavaman Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosi Me. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. अभी ठीक है? कैसे हैं आगे आ जाओ? ठीक. तो कृष्ण is saying, मन मना, मन मेरे ऊपर रखो. Always think of me, bhava mad bhakto. मेरा भक्त बनो, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru. Offer obeisances, homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise this to you because you are my very dear friend. So Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Mam evaishasi satyam te. ये सत्य बोल रहा हूँ मैं. Pratijane priyosi me. You are very dear to me. So Prabhupada says, the most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have a chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is such a pure Krishna conscious, is in such pure consciousness, will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. So as we read this purport, right, and when we have read this, we know what is the essence of Bhakti Yoga, of Krishna consciousness. But you can see here, Prabhupada is indicating something very specific, and that we'll discuss. It's very important as we can meditate while we go to Vrindavan Dham. And what is the essence of us all coming together, doing this satsanga, chanting Hare Krishna, being in ISKCON, surrendering to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna and Radharani? What are we trying to finally achieve? That Prabhupada is indicating here. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend of Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying the fruit. the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feather in his hair. These are descriptions of Krishna found in Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. Prabhupada is saying here. The Lord has multi-forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Prabhupada is saying. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna. So, Prabhupada here is indicating that one should focus one's mind on the form carrying the flute, the bluish boy with the peacock feather in his head. Yes. In Vrindavan Krishna, Prabhupada is indicating here very, very specifically. Right? So, it is very nice to have this meditation of who can really enter Vrindavan Dham. Is entering Vrindavan Dham very cheap? Can we take one ticket and go? We can see that even the most qualified persons in this whole universe, they are begging to get a very small place of residence in Vrindavan Dham. जैसे कुछ अच्छा शहर होगा तो हमारा मन होगा ना उधर एक घर बनाए जो हमारा घर केला गया है. Right? It is our house, our place, our residence. In Vrindavan Dham, entry or residence is very, very rare. Even Brahma, who is the first living entity, we know in Brahma's prayers in Vrindavan, in 10th canto, 14th chapter Bhagavatam, here Bhuri Bhava, he says that Kimapi, whatever little dust I can be in Vrindavan Dham, please give me that. Or even let me have the meditation of Vrindavan Dham, even if I can't enter into Vrindavan Dham. After Brahma Vimohan Leela, Brahma is mentioning this. Uddhava says the same thing. Right? Although he is the most qualified person in Mathura, in Dwaraka, and he has come back from the heavenly planets being the disciple of Brihaspati, he is saying that let me be a blade of grass. Kimapi gulmala kaushadinam. Lakshmi Devi is performing penance for centuries and centuries in Belwan, trying to enter into Vrindavan Dham. But they don't have entrance. Shivji, who is the greatest of Vaishnavas, he is not allowed to enter in unless he takes the form of a gopi. Same with Narada Muni, the most qualified of all the saints, the best of all the engineers of this world, the highest devotee and friend and cousin of Krishna, Uddhava, Lakshmi Devi, who is the consort of Narayana himself. They all don't have entrance into Vrindavan Dham. So what is your and my qualification to enter in? Right? So how do we enter into Vrindavan? What is the mood? Right? It is very important. And through the end of this discussion, we'll touch upon that to see what is given to us in this age of Kali that has not been given to even these greatest personalities of Vrindavan. Right? As we enter New Vrindavan Dham. And Prabhupada wanted to create Vrindavan Dham everywhere, right? Including America, West Virginia, right? New Vrindavan Dham. So Krishna comes for different reasons in this world. There are some internal reasons, there are some external reasons also. Just like Mahaprabhu comes with some internal reasons, external reasons. So Krishna is reciprocating with the devotees. So Krishi is one of the name of Mother Earth. Krish, जैसे किसान बोलते हैं ना Krish. That is Earth, plowing, Mother Earth. So whenever Mother Earth is in problem, Krishna, Na means the giver of pleasure. He is the giver of pleasure to our mother. Dhenu, Dhatri, Yata, Prithvi, Atma Mata, Guru Patni, Brahmani, Rajapatni, ka 7 mothers we have. Out of that, एक माता है हमारा धरती माँ. And actually Krishna is the husband of Mother Earth. Keshavadritha Sukara Rupa, as Varahadev, he lifted Mother Earth. And in that marriage, they also had a son. Who was Bhoma. Bhoma, he became Bhomaswar, yes. So, she is the consort of Mother Earth. And she hankers for Krishna. And she's sometimes overburdened by so much of atrocities, problems, demoniac rulers. Even in Kali Yuga we can see, right? So much of demoniac activities going on. And so when she pleads, one of the name of Krishna is Krishi, this name of Mother Earth, and now Krishir Bhuvachako Shabdaha, Nastvam Nivritte Vachakaha, the one who takes away her distress by giving her pleasure. And what is that pleasure that Krishna gave? Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vidunoti Kirtim Yad Devaki Sutta Padambujalabdha Lakshmi. Lakshmi Devi is here also. Lakshmi, the treasure of Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vidunoti Kirtan. Vrindavan has expanded the Yasha, the Kirti, the glories of Mother Earth everywhere. How? Yad Devaki Sutta Padambuja Labdha Lakshmi. By taking on the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna, who appeared and came to Vrindavan. He appeared also in Vrindavan and he came also to Vrindavan. And as he played in Vrindavan, as his holy dust of his lotus feet smeared the beautiful forehead of Mother Earth in the form of Vrindavan Dham, she became very happy. And Krishna killed so many demons. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya. So all these different external reasons Krishna came. But internally, Krishna wanted the devotees of his to experience, to feel, to get a trailer of actual Rag Bhakti. Prema rasa ninyasa korilo aswadana raga marga bhave bhakti korilo pracharana. ये राग मार्ग का भक्ति जो है, to expand that, to show, to give us a little flavor of what that love is between the living entity and Krishna. Whatever, whomever that I have loved, I am actually trying to love Krishna, and that love that is in the heart, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kagunai. So that love of Krishna, which is very spontaneous, which is very natural for the living entity, which I have been trying to express. I wanted to exchange that. But I am using that love, that propensity in so many things of this world. And either that love frustrates us or that love comes to an end with this body. But we are looking for that one uninterrupted, pure devotional service which is exemplified in the highest perfection by the gopis of Vrindavan. And that love, which is Raga Bhakti, which is spontaneous devotion. There is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and then this Raganuga Bhakti, which is following the footsteps of a Ragatmika Bhakta, one who has that love. Unless one has that love, one cannot enter into actual Vrindavan Dham. One might get a ticket, one might enter Vrindavan Dham, but the mercy of Vrindavan Dham, the actual dust of Vrindavan Dham, the real offering of Vrindavan Dham is covered by Prodha Maya. There are different kinds of Mayas, and one of the Mayas in Dham is Prodha Maya, that it covers those who don't have adhikar to enter in. Now if there's a federal building, right, you cannot just enter into the federal building. Either you should be an employee where you have authority access to go into the building, or next week we have, actually I was thinking of going to New Vrindavan on Tuesday only. So I thought, I told my wife also, take Wednesday off also. So we'll spend a nice 4 or 5 days in Vrindavan, New Vrindavan. But then anyway, she had some meetings on Wednesday and my children wanted to come to my work. There is a Thursday to there. So we are thinking at 8:39 we'll bring the kids to my office. So they will enter and then they will have some activities, some fun things for 2 hours. Then by 11 o'clock we'll leave and then we will come to New Vrindavan by 4 or 5 o'clock.
आपने रजिस्टर किया?
हाँ रजिस्टर किया अभी अभी
उसके लिए शॉप मीटिंग के लिए
वो नहीं किया but हाँ anyway then I don't need to take the day off so kids will come and we'll leave early but if they have to come into the building हाँ बताइए मेरा point था कि अगर उनको अंदर प्रवेश करना है तो either somebody who has access to the building, we should let them in, or they should be an employee. तो हमें अगर वृंदावन के अंदर प्रवेश करना है तो I should have either access to some person who will say हाँ ये हमारा आदमी है, चलो लेकर आ सकते हैं हमें. जैसे even Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj, we met him few months back, and although I've been serving him for so many years, it is difficult to get in to the room where he is to do service unless you know a servant who is a very intimate devotee, right? Or like Prabhu wanted to meet Radhanath Maharaj, so we had to ask either Shyamananda Krishna Prabhu or Yugal Kishore Prabhu who has that connection. So what is the perfection of this life, right? Actually, Kalisantarana Upanishad also says that whatever 16 माला नहीं 1000 माला भी करे 1000 साल भी करे, there is no guarantee that Krishna has to accept us. ये देखो कृष्ण ये मेरा रिज्यूमे है, मेरा रिज्यूमे ये किया हूँ मतलब मेरा प्रवेश होना ही चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होता है. नायम आत्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यते न मेधया न बहुनाश्रितेन. It says that बड़ा बड़ा प्रवचन लेने से देने से या सुनने से बहुनाश्रुतेन, इतना मैं सुनूंगा इतना सुनूंगी इतना मैं करूंगा कि सब कुछ वेदों का पूरा सार आ जाए. अगर पूरा सार भी आ जाए, अगर पूरा भागवतम रट के भी बोले, भगवद गीता तो अलग बात है, मतलब कुछ भी, it doesn't matter, there is no guarantee. Only Krishna can pick whom he chooses to pick. तो पॉइंट है कि तू करे क्यों? तो we are doing it to show Krishna's sincerity. So the first two things that are needed to enter into Vrindavan is Radha Dasyam. Lakshmi Devi didn't have Radha Dasyam. I am not going to be one of the maid servants giving up the Aishwarya Bhava of worshipping Krishna in this mood to be a servant of Srimati Radharani. That mood is very important, without which even if you are Lakshmi Devi, you will not get entrance. And sincerity in our bhajan. So we will pray to Krishna, we will act in such a mood that Krishna, if you so desire, give me an opportunity to serve you once more. In that mood when we approach, then Krishna will reciprocate with our mood in that way. But the point is that to enter into Vrindavan, if we hear about Vrindavan Dham, we hear Katha about Sri Krishna, about the associates of Krishna, and in this lifetime, even if we get attached to one specific kind of rasa that really makes our heart melt more than others, that is the right direction to follow a Ragatmika Bhakta to enter into Vrindavan Dham. To gradually make the transition from Vaidhi, regulated service, to Rag Bhakti, yes, which is spontaneous bhakti to Sri Krishna. So anyway, so Krishna came for two reasons, right? One was external reason, which is to protect Mother Earth, to establish dharma, to kill the demons, to protect his devotees, and internal reason, which is to show Rag Bhakti in its full perfection. And the conclusive verses of Bhagavad Gita that we just read today, even Prabhupada is indicating that loving spontaneous devotion to Krishna with a peacock feather, with a beautiful bluish complexion, naked Hrinashama, who is performing so many beautiful pastimes. Ittam sakam brahma sukhanubhutya. Dasyam katanam paradaivatena. So all the other rasas are eclipsed by the sweetness of Sri Krishna. So Krishna wanted to display this. And first canto Bhagavatam, we'll discuss one small story, which is a parallel story that comes along with the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of us have read the first canto of Bhagavatam or know the storyline, know the pastimes? To some good extent, right? So we will take a Vrindavan twist to this first canto of Bhagavatam from Skanda Purana, very, very beautiful pastime, which gives us a backstory of how Bhagavatam, this first canto, opens up, right? Where Parikshit Maharaj meets Sukadeva Goswami, how their meeting happens, how Parikshit Maharaj gives up everything, right? And sits on the banks of Yamuna. And he starts listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. So when Krishna has left, right, actually the middle chapters of the first canto of Bhagavatam describes how Krishna departs from this world. Kunti Maharani's prayers are there, Bhishma Dev's prayers are there. Then Krishna is departing from this world after he enters into Hastinapur, into Dwarka, and then he's leaving Hastinapur, then he departs, then the Pandavas also depart. And after the Pandavas are departing, it is described that Yudhishthira Maharaj who had won the Mahabharata war, right? He was the emperor, Chakravarti of this world. So he gives the kingdom to Parikshit. And Parikshit is the one single unrivaled Chakravarti for this whole world. And as Parikshit is the Chakravarti, Parikshit makes Vajranabha, Krishna's great grandson, as the king of Mathura Dham. So Vajranabha is in charge of Mathura and Parikshit is in charge of he's in charge of Hastinapur and the entire world as Indraprastha. This capital is Indraprastha, where the Rajasuriya Yagna had happened of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Now he hears of his grandfathers leaving this world. Who? Parikshit Maharaj. Then he knows Krishna has also departed from Prabhat's Kshetra. And all the Yadus on the external pretext of fighting, internally they have already departed. The Devatas have left their abode and gone to Devaloka. Those who are qualified have gone back to Godhead, Vaikuntha, Goloka, Dwaraka. Krishna's gopis have left and gone back to Golok Vrindavana. Either the Nitya Siddha gopis who had come and many Sadhana Siddha and other gopis also who perform pastimes with Krishna, they have left. Some of Krishna's queens also depart to go to Nitya Dwaraka in the spiritual world. But there are some other queens who are left. Then Arjuna takes them to Mathura to keep them under the care of Vajranabha. And Arjuna also, along with his brothers and Draupadi, departs from this world. So now when Parikshit Maharaj hears this, Parikshit Maharaj's heart is broken. Paritara ikshadam iti Parikshita. He is examining, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is that Supreme Personality who came within the womb of my own mother, Uttara? Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktyanam Abhayankara. Tvam eva Dahyamananam. You are the only savior, O my Lord. She had appealed. Krishna had come. He had darshan of Krishna within the womb. He was a pure devotee of the Lord. He was searching for Krishna everywhere. Now Krishna has departed. He is so saddened. And he, to console himself, he makes a trip to Mathura, where Vajranabha was staying. And Vajranabha was like his nephew. He was like Mamaji. So he was the uncle. And so he comes and him and Vajranabha meet. And Vajranabha embraces him, he keeps his helmet down, and there are tears of separation that Krishna and his uncles, everyone have left, the Pandavas have left. And Parikshit Maharaj tells him, don't worry, any help you want, I am there for you. My army is at your disposal. Jo chahiye, main hoon tumhare saath. And he embraces him. And Vajranabha tells him, I have nothing to fear. I have learned Yuddha Shastra from your own father Abhimanyu. So I am a Shishya of Abhimanyu. I don't need to worry about my enemies. In fact, you have consolidated everyone. So my only worry is this, that Krishna came for an internal reason and an external reason. The internal reason was to establish Vrindavan Dham. As Krishna has left all his places of pastimes, all the different kunds, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, Govind Kund, Apsara Kunds, the Sakhi Sthalis, Udhava Kund, all the places are covered. Whether it's Yamuna, it's Govardhan, Raman Reti, all these beautiful pastimes where Krishna performed so many beautiful pastimes. All the devotees have left and gone back to Godhead, or they have deserted Vrindavan and the 12 forests. And he's saying that the 12 forests are completely deserted, no one is there, all the places of pastimes of Krishna are gone. So we have to do something about this, he's telling Parikshit Maharaj. And at that point, Parikshit Maharaj says, yes, whatever services we have to do, right, in our Krishna consciousness, we need direction from our spiritual authorities. Our spiritual master should give us a personal instruction for it to be our life and soul, and especially something as important as this service. And we'll see the parallels of how Srila Prabhupada has also come here to build and to give us New Vrindavan Dham, where we can have the same feeling of Vrindavan, of what Krishna came to give as his internal desire, that we'll be going for next week. Right? So now to establish Vrindavan, what is to be done? They called Shandilya Muni. Just like who is the spiritual master of Vasudeva and Devaki, who comes to give the name giving ceremony for Krishna Balaram? Garga Muni. Gargacharya, Garga Muni, 8th chapter of 10th canto of Bhagavatam describes how Garga Muni comes and then in the cowshed he gives Krishna his name. Beautiful pastime. Similarly, Shandilya Muni is the guru of Yashoda and Nanda Baba. So Yashoda Nanda Baba, and he is the author of Shandilya Bhakti Sutra, just like Narada Bhakti Sutra. He is one of the authorities of Bhakti, like Vyasadeva, like Sukadev Goswami, like Garga Muni. He is also one of the authorities. He comes from his hermitage here to Mathura and he says, yes, this is a very important service. I will tell you to do. Vajranam, you should do and perform the internal service of re-establishing Vrindavan Dham, which has been deserted, which has been left, which has now been covered by the forests. And Parikshit, you need to do the external service of keeping Kali at bay, of ensuring that Kali doesn't stop the discussion of Bhagavatam. Kali doesn't re-infiltrate and kill the legs of Dharma, which we'll study in the first canto of Bhagavatam. You have to do this service, go right away to Vrindavan Dham. Parikshit Maharaj goes back to Indraprastha. He gets the best of the best architects, masons, construction workers, sends them all to Mathura Dham. Vajranam engages them and he rebuilds whole Vrindavan Dham. Very, very beautiful. Today if you go to Vrindavan Dham, even to get a good place to stay near a ISKCON temple in Kartik Mas, it is very difficult. You have to book 8-10 months in advance to get a place in MVT, things like that. So, at that point, they rebuilt the entire Vrindavan Dham, Kusum Sarovar, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, Raman Reti, all the wonderful places of Krishna's pastimes. And Keshi Ghat, Vamshi Ghat, everyone. And then what happens? They invite all the devotees from Mathura. And these devotees were the monkeys in Ramalila. Skanda Puran describes that all the monkeys who had fought for Ramachandra against Ravana. Kim Chitram Achitamache, Tavashesha Bandhu Dasu Sharaneshu Astasatvam Sa Yochai Saham Mridai Saham Ishwaranam Srimad Kirita Dita Pirta Padapita Saham Mridai Swayam Ishwaranam. That Supreme Lord who came as Ramachandra was with the monkeys and he engaged them in the fight against Ravana. Now they had come and settled in Mathura Dham. And all of them, Vajranam brings them to Vrindavan Dham. And they fill Vrindavan Dham. Everywhere there is so much opulence, so much sweetness. Krishna Katha is going on, Krishna Kirtan is going on. So much of mercy of hearing Krishna Katha. And that Krishna who had just departed. They are hearing, they are intoxicating their hearts with Krishna Prema. And it's completely populated very nicely. All the devotees are very happy except one set of devotees. Who are they? The queens of Dwarka, who were now under the shelter of Vajranab in Mathura, because they are crying for Krishna. Our Krishna has left. Everyone has attained the supreme abode. But does Krishna even think of us? These queens of Dwarka, they are thinking. They are crying. And at that time, Shandilya Muni tells them, go to Vrindavan. O Vajranab, O Parikshit, take these queens and go to Vrindavan Dham, and there near Kusum Sarovar, you will get the darshan of Uddhava Mahashaya, who has taken the form of a creeper, a grass, a small creeper, by Kusum Sarovar. As the gopis come and they pluck beautiful flowers to anoint Krishna, in that place Uddhava is present. आसामहो चरणरेणु जुषामहं स्यां वृन्दावने किमपि गुल्मलतौषधीनां या दुस्त्यजं स्वजनमार्यपटं च हित्वा बेजुर्मुकुन्दपदवीं श्रुतिभिर्विज्ञाम्. That Vedas which are describing Krishna's beautiful pastimes, that Supreme Lord Krishna, for whom या दुस्त्यजम स्वजनम, अपना जनों का त्याग करके, अपना मान सम्मान का भी त्याग करके, who have surrendered everything to Krishna, their mind, their bodies, their man, their families, their wealth, their everything they have given up for Krishna, the highest love of the devotees that are expressed as these gopis of Vrindavana. I want to take a little bit of the dust of their lotus feet. It's the prayer of Uddhava, and he was present there eternally. Many personalities of Vrindavan, they have two forms. That Uddhava has a form as Uddhava in Nitya Dwaraka, as Krishna's cousin, Krishna's friend, Krishna's associate, who would play and frolic and have so much of loving exchange with Krishna, and he's present as a blade of grass or a creeper in Vrindavan Dhama. Brahmaji, who was praying, he has a place as Mangad, Vilasgad, Dangad, the four hills of Barsana Dhama. Although he has his own personality, Shivaji has his own personality, and he is the Dham protector, and he is also Nandishwar Parvat, who is taking the dust of Sri Nandanandana Krishna. Yamuna has a form as Kalindi, as Krishna's wife, and also as a river in Vrindavana. Tulsi Maharani has a form of Vrinda Devi, a very dear Sakhi of Radharani, and as a plant Tulsi that we worship. Govardhan has a form of the Supreme Lord Krishna, at the same time as a devotee, as a till. So all these personalities are multiple forms, but in Vrindavan Dham, they want some little service. Chakra, Sudarshan Chakra also was invited to come in Govardhan Leela when it was getting very cold. Then Krishna invites Chakra, and the Chakra is going round and round, like we have a temperature thermostat, right, to adjust the temperature. So to keep the temperature perfectly balanced, when rain was being showered by Samvartaka clouds, Chakra आ गया उधर, और चक्र का पूरा सेवा हो गया है. He's going round and round and round and round Govardhan with such speed that perfectly this much warmth, it's kept exactly at 68 degrees or 70 degrees, जितना भी हम thermostat में सेट किए. तो वो 7 दिन का लीला हो गया. कृष्णा बोला, हरे कृष्णा, प्लीज आप वापस वैकुंठ में प्रवेश कर सकते हैं. बोले नहीं नहीं नहीं, एक बार हम वृंदावन आ गए, इधर से नहीं जाने, इधर ही रहना है. And that became Chakratirtha, Chakreshwar, Chakratirtha. So even Chakra also stays there. Anybody who wants to come, they want to stay in Vrindavan Dhama. So everyone have their places in Vrindavan Dhama, including Uddhava. So now all these gopis, all the queens of Dwaraka are coming to Kusum Sarovar. And there they meet Kalindi, who is Yamuna Devi. And they ask, oh Kalindi, oh Yamuna Devi, please tell us, how do we get the association of Uddhava? And Kalindi tells them that you have to chant the holy names of Krishna, because Uddhava is very intoxicated by hearing the holy names of Krishna. And that's the first Sankirtan party, where Parikshit Maharaj with Vajranabha and with the queens of Dwaraka start chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vajranabha is kept to guard the place against Kali. And Parikshit Maharaj is performing Kirtan. As he performs Kirtan, his helmet falls down, his long hair is on his shoulders, he's raising his hands up in the air, and all the queens of Dwaraka, they're also beautiful like golden dolls with tears in their eyes. They're chanting Prem Naam of Shri Krishna. And as they're chanting, they forget where they are. And the whole atmosphere with the clouds resound these names of Krishna. And as they're chanting, they're going in circles. It looks like all these beautiful golden devotees who are going round and round in circles, chanting, dancing. Like how the kids were chanting, dancing right now, right? And then they do the whole circumference parikrama of Govardhan. And as they're doing that around Uddhav Kund, around Pushpavan, around Sakhi Sthali, all these places, it's described that Parikshit Maharaj forgets completely who he is. He forgets, he loses all attachment to his kingdom. He loses all attachment to his wives, his kingdoms, his position, his post, his wealth and everything, and is completely absorbed in this. And as he's doing that kirtan, all the animals of Vrindavan also come there. Dharmyosva Mooda Gatayopi Harinya Eka Ya Nanda Nandana Upatya Vichitra Vesham. Even the deer of Vrindavan Dham. Ya Nanda Nandana Upatya Vichitra Vesham. To see the beautiful Vesha of Sri Krishna. Even they come Akarnya Venu Raditam Saha Krishna Sara. With the female buck with the male deer. They both come together. Pujam Dadur. Virachitam Pranatavalokair. Within the hearts, they are like a pujari has to go on the altar, has to get second initiated, has to take Dhoop, Deep, Argyam, and he has to perform in certain. But they, just through their eyes, inside their hearts, they're offering Pujam Dadum, Virachitam, Pranayavalokair. Just within their hearts, they are so much in love with Krishna, these deer. All the deer come and join this kirtan. And all the animals of Vrindavan Dham also come, and they're also going round and round in circles. The tigers, the lions, the rabbits, the deer, all of them come together. They're all doing this Sankirtan. This is the same time when Bhagavatam is being described, right? How just before that, parallelly, these are the pastimes that are happening. And as they're performing these pastimes, Uddhava appears. And beautiful golden form. He's looking like Krishna. Beautiful yellow garments. His smile, his broad chest, exactly like Krishna. And when he appears, everyone stops singing. And the gopis are very softly murmuring Krishna, 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 Krishna as they're singing Uddhava. And Parikshit Maharaj approaches and he asks, "Oh Mahashai, aap kaun ho? Kidhar se aaye aap? What is..." And Uddhava says, "You invited me, so I've come here for you. How can I serve you?" And under a bakul tree, the whole Vrindavan Dham becomes so soft. It is described softer than this carpet. And they're all sitting on the soft Vrindavan Dham, which is reciprocating with these pure devotees. So then, just like Panchatattva, we need their mercy before we can enter into Mayapur Dham, Navadvip Dham. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar and Srivas. Similarly, you need the mercy of Panchatattva to enter into Vrindavan, breaking through Prodamaya. Who are they? Any guesses? 5 personalities we need the mercy to enter into Vrindavan. Radharani, okay. Vrinda Devi is one. Radharani, of course, without a mercy. No. Vrinda Devi, there is Giriraj Govardhan, there is Yamuna, there is Vrindavan Raj, or the dust of Vrindavan. Indradutta Maharaj says this in one of the Vrindavan Yatras. He says, the dust of Vrindavan, which is holding the lotus feet's mercy of all the devotees, Braj ka Raj jo hai. So, Braj ka Raj, Vrinda Devi, there is Yamuna, then there is Govardhan Hill, and there is one more personality, Shivji, Lord Shiva, who is Gopeshwar Mahadev. So, Shivji ka, Yamuna, Vrinda Devi, Brajaraj, और गिरिराज गोवर्धन. इन पांचों का कृपा चाहिए हमें वृंदावन का अंदर प्रवेश करने के लिए. So as Vrindavan reciprocates with the devotees on the Brajaraj, it becomes so soft, these devotees say. And Parikshit Maharaj asks 2 questions. Who was the last person, O Krishna, did Krishna remember before he left this world? And he asks, what happened during the final pastimes of Krishna? He asks those 2 questions. And then he asks, please tell me Srimad Bhagavatam. I want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from your lotus lips. The 2 questions, I will not get into the pastimes. It is described in the 2nd and the 3rd cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam in great detail about Uddhava, how he gets an instruction in Dwaraka before Krishna disappears to go to Badrikashram. Then he comes back to meet Krishna in Prabhas Kshetra after the Yadus depart. There Krishna speaks Uddhava Gita to him and to Maitreya Muni and tells him to go and meet Vidura. Then he goes and meets Vidura, and those conversations are all in Bhagavatam that we will start discussing in future. Right? So he tells him all those pastimes and how Krishna remembers Uddhava in the Vidura in the very last. And then he tells him that I will not speak Srimad Bhagavatam to you now. Because in the Uddhava Gita that is spoken, which is also like the essence of all the Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is all described there. He says that now Krishna has told me to give mercy to 3 devotees specifically. One is to devotees in Badrikashram, one is Vidura, and one is to give mercy to and the third is the queens of Dwaraka. And he says, now I will speak the Bhagavatam to you in 30 days. But now you have to switch roles with Vajranab. Vajranab, who is keeping Kali at bay, not letting Kali come and interrupt this discussion of Bhagavatam being recited and Sankirtan being done by you. Now let him come here and you have a service to go and keep Kali at bay. That Kali who is breaking the pillars of Dharma. That Kali who wants to keep Bhagavatam recital not happening. So you perform that external service that Krishna came to perform. And now I will reveal the Srimad Bhagavatam in 30 days to all the queens of Dwaraka. And he starts speaking. And as he's speaking, Parikshit Maharaj is crying and he's feeling the separation. I want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. This has been my life's desire. I have seen that Krishna in the womb and now Krishna is appearing in the form of Bhagavatam and I am not having that opportunity. What do I do? I want to hear that Srimad Bhagavatam. And he says that yes, you will get this opportunity very soon. It is coming to you. You don't have to cry for this. You go and perform this duty of keeping Kali at bay because Kali has entered now that Krishna has disappeared and Bhagavatam has arisen and Kali Yuga has come. You keep Kali at bay and there will be an arrangement made to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the son of Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami. And this Bhagavatam I am speaking for 30 days will be so sweet. But this Bhagavatam will never be known to the world at large. This Bhagavatam will never be discussed by the devotees at large. This is a very confidential pastime of Srimad Bhagavatam. Listen. Two more minutes, I'll finish this. So, then as Uddhava speaks that Bhagavatam for 30 days, all the pastimes of Krishna come to life. And this Bhagavatam is specially sweetened by the realizations of Uddhava. Because Uddhava had seen something that only the very dear associates of Krishna in Vrindavan Dham had experienced. That is the love of the gopis. The love of Srimati Radharani's, her separation, the love of Nanda Baba and Yashoda. Neham viricha, na bhavo, na shrirapyanga samshayaha, prasadam ledire gopi. This, इसका अंदर प्रवेश किसी का भी नहीं है. Neham virincha, na bhava, not Brahma, not to Shinji, na Shri, not even Lakshmi Devi, apyanga samshayaha, prasadam ledire gopi. This mercy is only experienced by one in whose heart one of the Brajavasis can put in that love. And Krishna wanted Uddhava to experience this. And Krishna had sent Uddhava. The first meeting of Uddhava with the Brajavasis is there in Bhagavatam. But Uddhava says, that is only my first. Chapter number 27, Brahma Gita. During that time, all of Uddhavas. Uddhava says, ab pure ho gaye itna, gopiya. Krishna to antaratma hai sabka. And the conversations of how much separation the gopis are feeling, it's only them who can feel that separation. And gopis, their separation Uddhava tasted. So this Vraja Bhakti, especially that, and many other times. First time he had stayed in Vrindavan for 8 months. Then he had stayed for many other months. And all of that, expansion of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam also, Uddhava starts speaking. As he's speaking, all the queens of Dwaraka can actually visualize, like audio and visual, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam around them for 30 days. And as they hear and as they hear and as they hear, they completely absorbed in Krishna. and they all rejoin Krishna's pastimes in Golok Vrindavan. All of them. Vajraram also departs back, and he is one of the 9 carvings on Krishna's feet as Vajra. That is his eternal Swarup. And he re-enters Krishna's lotus feet and his services in Golok Vrindavan. So he departs. And as Parikshit Maharaj is now trying to curb Kali, that is where Bhagavatam takes us very quickly in those few chapters. There, he is still in that same thought. Oh, you think about if there is some very amazing festival that's going on, you have gone to Sadhu Sangha festival, but you are not allowed to go into the actual kirtan. You have been given some of the service, बच्चों का देखभाल करना है इधर. अरे उधर इतना अच्छा कीर्तन चल रहा है, उधर गुरु महाराज आ गए, उसका इतना मधुर कहानी, इतना कथा चल रहा है. अहो अहो ये कली विधि है, सुधा सुधाराम पदनम पदे पदे. हर पद में इतना स्वाद है, इतना अमृत है, और मुझे उसका पान करना है, पर नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ मैं, क्योंकि मेरा इधर सेवा है. और ये सेवा तो मेरा अथॉरिटीज दे दी. तो that was his position. And as he is going from place to place to place to reconsolidate the whole world, परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय, जो कृष्णा करने आया था, कृष्णा करके चला गया, he disappeared to the next place. And it is the kings, it is these personalities who are supposed to continue the legacy. And as Parikshit Maharaj is going from place to place to place, is he interested? Externally, what Mahaprabhu says, Bahire karo acharana. Antare, you have to focus on your love for Krishna. Whether you are Grihetako Vanetako, Sada Hari Boletako, wherever you are, you may be a Grasta, you may be the father, the mother, the husband, the employee, whatever you are, externally performing those, but internally having that mood, having that separation. Yuvatinam yatha, you know Yuvatim yatha, mano vinamatastasya. कैसे मन डाले उस प्यार में, उस प्रेम में, जैसे एक युवती को युवा के ऊपर होता है और युवा को युवती के ऊपर होता है. Mahaprabhu's instruction to Rupa Goswami. That is the mood one has to develop inside our hearts to enter Vrindavan Dham. That was the mood that Parikshit Maharaj had. And as he would go, he would hear about Krishna. Bhaktim karote nrupatas charanaravinde. As he is hearing all of Krishna's pastimes with his grandfathers, he is thinking, अरे वाह, वही कृष्णा, वही कान्हा, जो इधर सारथी बन के आया था, जो मेरा my elderly grandfather Yudhishthir, वो प्रणाम कर रहा था. He was the night watchman. He would keep the shoes. Snigdeshu Pandushu. Jagat Pranitim Cha Vishnu. That personality who is the source of even Vishnu. That Lord. And as he would talk to people, he would ask, tell me about Krishna. I want to hear more and more and more and more. And as he did that, he encountered Kali. Then he was thirsty. Then that whole story of how he puts that garlands, Shamika Rishi with that snake. And he gets cursed. And he's so happy. And so he's able to give up everything so quickly. And Uddhava had told, this recital of Srimad Bhagavatam is going to be the Bhagavatam that all the devotees will be hearing. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahavan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu और Matamidam Tatradara Na Para. उससे आगे उससे ऊपर और कुछ नहीं है. आराध्य भगवान ब्रजेश तनया धाम वृंदावन. That worshipping Shri Krishna, as Prabhupada is saying in this purport, Nandanandana Krishna. Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu. In the mood of the followers of the gopis of Vrindavan. उस भाव में, उस प्रेम में, that bhava, when it's an internal affection which deepens, vidhana bhavena vinatnava. But it doesn't matter. One can speak big verses, it doesn't matter. Either it is there or it is not there. If it is there, the devotee cries. If it is not there, a devotee has to cry. Please, I want one drop. Right? So that is the mood in which we have to cry to Vrindavan Dham. So we can get a little more entrance. Because कभी लगता है अरे वृंदावन धाम हम चले गए, लास्ट ईयर भी गए थे. तो वही लॉर्ड्स में ना, इस बार हमें अटैच्ड चाहिए ना, इस बार हमें डिटैच्ड चाहिए, इस बार हमें ये लॉर्ड्स, मतलब वही आशा है. पर it has to go not wider but deeper. I'm telling myself. Otherwise, बाहर से, last night I was thinking about this. That I was I was visualizing that in my dream I was sleeping next to Sevini Taruni, and somehow this dream came that I have my soul, which is me, मेरा आत्मा जो मैं हूँ, नैवं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैवं भेदि पावकः, that is me. But then there is a subtle body, which is my सूक्ष्म देह. मन बुद्धि अहंकार जो है वो मेरा देह है. That is the subtle body that is going from one life to another life. उसके बाहर है मेरा ये स्थूल देह, ग्रोस बॉडी. अभी ग्रोस बॉडी से डिवोटी बनना बहुत इजी है. Somehow my dream last was thinking, here it's very easy. धोती क्या 100 रुपए का, अभी का 500-600 रुपए का होगा. धोती खरीदना है, एक तिलक खरीदना है, एक कंठी माला कंठी है. So कंठी माला धारण करना है. It is not very difficult. Like New Vrindavan में you get many styles also. बगल बंदी, जुगल बंदी, सब मिल जाता है. तो वो खरीदना बहुत इजी है. बाहर से भक्त बनना इजी है. पर मेरा सटल बॉडी है, मेरा मन बुद्धि अहंकार का बॉडी है, उसके ऊपर तिलक, उसके ऊपर कंठी कब आएगा? क्योंकि वो एक्चुअल डिवोटी है. कृष्णा सीज दैट बॉडी. मैं जब देखता हूँ ना, मैं प्रभु जी को देखता हूँ, अरे वाह बहुत अच्छा, व्हाइट एंड व्हाइट, नाइस. प्रभु जी इज वेरी नाइस ऑफ कोर्स, बट कृष्णा डजंट सी दिस. कृष्णा डजंट सी अरे ये टेंपल प्रेसिडेंट बन गए, भक्त विषय लीडर है, ये तो प्रवचन देता है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हाउ मच ऑफ अ डिवोटी इज माय सूक्ष्म देह. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. मेरा मन, just like here Prabhupada was talking about, what is Krishna consciousness? स्मर्तव्यम सततम विष्णु विस्मर्तव्यम जातु चित्त. स्मर्तव्यम, कितना स्मरण है कृष्ण के ऊपर. We were discussing about Yamuna. When I have the thirst, am I still drinking out of the poisonous waters of my senses, or am I having my guru, my spiritual master like Balarama, telling the boys not to go near that part of Yamuna which is poisoned by Kaliya? Am I following my guru, or am I getting thirsty and drinking? Am I having real affection for Krishna, or is it I am like this when I am here in Sangha? When I am not in Sangha, I am not having that strong tilak on my subtle body. मेरा subtle body के ऊपर धोती, कुर्ता, तिलक, वो लक्षण कब आएगा? वो है भक्ति. So that should be the prayer to Vrindavan Dham, to Yamuna Devi. They have, the gopis have pure devotion for the Lord. Now as I am entering Vrindavan Dham, new Vrindavan Dham, which has been anointed by Prabhupada's beautiful lotus feet. Right? Oh Prabhupada, oh Yamuna Devi, oh Vrinda Devi, please you are present here personally. Please make my subtle body also a devotee. बाहर से बहुत साल भक्त बन गया मैं. वहाँ से बहुत प्रशंसा भी मिला, सब कुछ मिला है, जो जो चाहिए सब मिला है, पर अंदर से नहीं मिला है मुझे खुद का. Right? And that should be very secretive part of our sadhana with Krishna. And that is something we want to interact with Krishna. And that mindset, asking Krishna to give me one more taste, little deeper. I remember when I was in Vrindavan, my first time, I had fallen into the Yamuna. And Yamuna is so deep. And although I knew swimming, and the rocks were so high, and I was being carried away, drifted away into Yamuna. गमछा पहना था और मेरा कपड़ा वपड़ा उधर ही, और गमछा पहन के केशी घाट में. आजकल जाएंगे तो केशी घाट में पूरा इट इज सो कमर्शियलाइज्ड, बहुत बिल्डिंग्स है, ये है वो, इसमें. पर पहले ऐसे नहीं था. You could walk around Vrindavan with bare feet, and it used to be very soft sand, very sweet, very nice. You could just enter into Vrindavan, into Yamuna also, right? Then when I went in, I got sucked in, and as I got pulled in, and I am going deeper and deeper. It was almost 30 seconds, 40 seconds in. I swam, came to the sides. I'm trying to hold the rocks, and I'm not able to get the grip because the water is very slippery. And मेरा level में भी नहीं है, पानी का level में भी उससे ऊपर है. तो getting the grip to come up हो ही नहीं रहा है. 2-3 बार बहुत try किया मैंने. And I went back into the water. Then और थोड़ा आगे में चला गया. और उसके बाद second time I tried. Now I'm like पूरा दम लगा के ऐसा करेंगे. तो one swam, I tried. Almost आगे slip करके वापस गिर गया. हुआ नहीं. Now I am into Yamuna fully, and I cannot even feel my legs. And I'm in the middle of the Yamuna, and I'm drinking the water. And Yamuna water is very sweet, but तब मुझे बाहर निकलना है. And at that point, right? So many of my material desires, right? They're coming. Some things coming in my mind which are not Krishna conscious, which I will know that I will get another birth again. And I'm 21, 22 at that point, and I'm thinking, oh Krishna, so many material desires are there. Oh Yamuna, please purify me of my desires. I know that you can, but I am not ready to leave this body right now. If I leave this body, I will have to take another birth to fulfill so many desires I have. Please take me when I'm in a place where I have purified my desires. I prayed and I just let myself loose, and then I went further on, little further, the bank was shallow. Then somehow I got till the rock and I could come up. Then I came walking all the way to the ghat. By that time all the monkeys on the trees had my clothes. I was like, अरे बंदा रखिए मुझे नहीं चाहिए बस मेरा गीला वाला गमछा में वॉक करके जा रहा था कि कृष्णा एंड माय थॉट वाज अरे बच गया वो नहीं था पर मेरा मन में था कि I never thought I had so many desires till the point came when I'm actually like thinking कि अरे ठीक है अभी
This is your second life
only second chance this little book है आजामी का so anyway so the point is they can avoid they can reciprocate they can
Same thing happened with Radhanath Swami Maharaj once in Ganga.
yeah but he was pure devotee yes always yes he was also being drifted in yes
Yeah, the drifting part I'm talking
drifting part yes true so anyway I was discussing Yamuna last Sunday but the point is that should be a prayer to Yamuna Devi Tulsi Maharani and Rajagash as we enter Vrindavan Dham. Just like Parikshit Maharaj and Rajana built Vrindavan Dham, Prabhupada has given Vrindavan Dham in America itself. When we have visa problems and cannot go outside the country, we can still be in Vrindavan while being in America, land of the free.
Where you're stuck.
Huh?
Land
of the stuck.
Where you're stuck.
At least we can be stuck in the lotus feet of Krishna next weekend. Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Jai Shri Bhagavatam ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki.